Yeah, so Lawrence, well, congratulations, mate. So
Mm.
when did you get the contract through?
It was probably a couple of weeks ago now. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it was a little while coming, but so I was a bit like on tenterhooks, because obviously I had been in that situation before and then it didn't materialize. So sort of like,
Yeah.
yeah, relief to get that signed and done and dusted and
Yeah.
know that it's in the bag.
Yeah, man. No, it's really good. So what is it's a BMS role, is it?
Mm.
Like what's the official role, title and all of that?
The official title, no, I think it's something like um, BMS improver engineer, something like that.
Okay. What does
Yeah.
it involve?
So it's scheduled maintenance mostly, well, all
Yeah.
completely. So it will be going out into the field, doing sort of uh, scheduled checks and changing of things, like for example, in AHUs, air handling units,
Hmm.
going through changing all the sort of replaceable, perishable components like
Yeah.
filters and things, and then dialing in the sensors and the control loops and
Yeah.
making sure that it's all optimized and working efficiently, and then sort of documenting everything and then moving on to the next. And there'll be, yeah, some modifications that need to be made in various scenarios. Um, so it could be a little bit of changes to panel wiring, and then also fault finding as well if things aren't running
Yeah.
properly, which will be a
Yeah.
big one, I guess. And then there's a call out element to the role as well. So I think it's 1 week in every 15. I'm on sort of a call out. Um, so yeah, it could be just like responding to simple, um, you know, emergency stop buttons being triggered or whatever, and things not working, or it could be going out, on a weekend and having to diagnose a problem, more serious. So
Yeah.
yeah, I suppose it really just depends on what's going on. But that's, yeah. I suppose initially I was a bit like, "Ooh, don't fancy that," but then I think that's quite common in this role. Another job I went for, that was the same thing. There was a call out rota, so you know, it, 1 week in every 15 is not exactly.
That's pretty good to be fair, mate. I think a lot of these businesses it's far more frequent than that.
Mm,
And like it's yeah, it's not ideal, but it's a starting point, isn't it? And
yeah,
sometimes, it's not going to continue forever. Maybe you just do that for, let's say, a year, and then you can, advance into something else, whether with them if the opportunity's
yeah,
there or, go elsewhere. So it's not, and it's
yeah,
probably going to be really good experience because that's, you'll probably get sent to breakdowns and stuff, and that's in my experience, where I feel, even though it can be a little bit nerve-wracking and daunting, but like that's where I feel like you really do learn,
mm.
a
Yeah.
lot.
It's those situations where you've really got to figure it out, under sort of a bit of pressure, and you've got to really think and trace things, and yeah, you learn on the job, don't you, by doing. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so that's gonna be
Well, that's
good.
good. Really good, mate. So, mate, let's just like take a few steps back. So, I looked last night. So I think you joined us about 6 months ago. Um, like, what were you doing? What was your situation before joining us in control specialist?
So yeah, I mean, I've been an electrician for, well, running my own business for sort of 14 years, something like that, and it was a reliable income, and I had plenty of work. And over the last couple of years, became less reliable, and that's partly my own doing. I probably should have spent more, put some effort into marketing and things like that. But yeah, it was sort of like I don't know. I suppose I'd lost a bit of the drive for it, and it was a bit repetitive. And you know, there were good jobs. Don't get me wrong. I'd get some interesting jobs once in a while, but not enough to keep me interested. So
Yeah.
when I found out about this, it's sort of just like, yeah, it got me thinking, there's something else out there that I can do. I can transfer my skills, and I'll be, you know,
What,
learning this
when you found out
vast.
about BMS, do you mean?
When I found out about BMS, and I sort of did a bit of research, and I stumbled across you and your YouTube, and watched some of your videos, and sort of then found out a bit more about what's involved, and what the kind of, well, what jobs there are out there,
Yeah.
that I can sort of realistically aim for, and how I can get into that. So it really appealed, because it was a case of either I sort of do the thing that a lot of people seem to be doing, which is renewable stuff,
Mm.
but that's so competitive now. Like,
Yeah.
I know people that are doing solar and stuff, and you'd think that they'll be getting plenty of work, but there's a lot of bigger companies out there undercutting people, and it's so competitive. So I was just like, yeah, I don't know. It's still, I'm going to be just doing much the same electrical work. You know, it's hard on your body. It's tiring. It's can be repetitive. So this really appealed to me, because I suppose, there's that, I've got a sort of an interest in sort of the computer side of things as well. So that appeals. Um, and yeah, just something that's just a kind of cleaner environment to work in. I'm not getting covered in dirt every day. So there's a lot of pluses to it. So it was, I definitely feel like I've made the right choice in following this route.
What was the goal then? So you'd been doing electrical for a number of years. You'd kind of like
Yeah.
discovered BMS, and that there is some overlap, and there is, potentially a path to progress. Like, did you have, like, back then, did you have kind of a path in your head, goals that you wanted to achieve and that you still want to achieve? Like, what does that look like? Or what did that look like then? What does it look like now? Where do you want to go with it?
Um, I suppose at the time I just wanted to be able to get a job that was a reliable income,
Yeah.
first and foremost, and where I could there's the potential to earn more money, but it's also, um, with a view to then progressing, because I knew I was thinking, well, I'm gonna maybe have to go and work for another electrical company or something for a bit, which I didn't really fancy doing, long term. um, and so I thought, this seems like the right avenue, because I'm not just going to be stuck somewhere and where I can't really progress. I'm going to be able to, like, once I learn everything and take on all this knowledge, then I'll be able to then go into bits of commissioning or programming, whatever. So there's that scope there. So that was what, really, I suppose, yeah, primarily it was like being able to have that stability. So, you know, I can, I'm not worrying about what I'm earning every month. I know I've got that coming in, but
Yeah.
it's interesting, you know? So, and I suppose then I didn't really, I didn't really know it was BMS I wanted to do specifically. I think after sort of learning a bit about, learning about controls and where they're sort of applied, I think BMS seemed like the the best fit for me.
Mm.
Um, just because I've encountered it before, it's a bit there's a bit of familiarity. in the sort of environments I'm used to working in on the
Yeah,
sort of commercial side of things. So there's a bit of knowns there.
yeah,
Um, you know, um, so yeah, and yeah, as I went on, I sort of felt like this is definitely the route I want to take. And seeing that there's a wealth of work out there as well,
yeah,
it's like, oh, people want me, I'm not like just getting ignored. I put my CV out there, and instantly I'm getting some hits and getting some
yeah.
contacts. So it's really refreshing to have that,
Yeah,
um,
mate. There's just well, as you've seen, there's just a massive demand, but not enough supply. Not enough of a
mm,
supply of people with a skill set like in that area, or at least somewhat of an understanding that businesses can then see, oh yeah, they do know, the foundations. We can work
mm,
with that. We can, develop those people, and especially if you've got an electrical background or an engineering background, like it plays into the BMS industry.
mm,
What's the so this role's like more like it's a service maintenance role. You touched
mm,
on then perhaps is the next step for you progressing into commissioning programming then, would you say?
mhm. Yeah, potentially, yeah. I'm open, I suppose it just depends whatever comes up. I sort of want to learn as much as I can and get that good grounding, and then if there's an opportunity within within the same company, it seems like there's a lot of room for progression there, which is what really sort of excited me about this particular company. Um, so I suppose, yeah, those kind of things, like initially, are what I want to sort of move towards. But who knows? I mean, I quite like, maybe the design side of things.
Right.
Um,
It
we'll
so
see.
so yeah, so
I'm
like
open.
for you, what's that, Lawrence? Sorry?
I'm open to sort of trying things out.
Yeah. And
Mm,
like what about for you, like personally, let's say that you spent however many years at this business, like, and their opportunity has presented itself, or maybe it hasn't, and you've gone elsewhere. But like, I guess looking far into the future, what's the big goal? What would you really like?
Um, I suppose um, I'd like a job satisfaction, like to get paid well, and I don't want to be um, like overworked to do it. I suppose that's everyone's goal, isn't it? Um,
Yeah,
less work, more money.
yeah, yeah.
but
Okay.
um, but no, just yeah, just being involved in something that is always, excuse me, is always changing and evolving, and you're having to learn new stuff.
Yeah,
God, that really appeals. Um,
yeah. That's what I realize with this industry is there's always, whether it's BMS, whether it's industrial controls, whether it's smart home, it's all kind of the same thing, but there's always something to learn or an element of all of it to go deeper into. So it's if you've got that kind of mind, I guess, that craves, new things, understanding things on a deeper level, like it's just endless, this
mm,
this kind of industry. And it's kind of what sucked me into it as well because it's like you can't ever complete it. There's always
yeah,
something, and then it's obviously a technology industry as well. So technology is advancing, so that's exciting as well. New things are being developed, more efficient ways of doing things, and yeah, it's just interesting. It's cool,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
and
absolutely.
it's and a specialist skill set, that
Mm,
once learn you can leverage. What
mm.
back then had you? I guess like had you, from what I remember, I don't think you'd like started applying for any roles. Is that, am I remembering that correctly?
Well, back when I started the course,
Yeah, yeah. Like had,
no.
'cause what was the, I guess, what were the roadblocks ultimately stopping you from, getting into the industry or landing a role as what you've done, like what you've done now?
Yeah, I suppose it was knowing what I needed to have to be able
Right.
to get to apply. Um, I didn't think that I could just get in with my electrical experience alone. I felt like I needed that grounding in controls and to have that understanding. You know, so I'm not just completely green.
Yeah.
Um, which it sort of helped me to know where I wanted to go exactly. Um, but yeah, so that's when the career specialist sort of thing came in and helped me to right uh, because I suppose if I'd been applying off my own bat, I wouldn't have had those techniques, and it might have just I might not have got anywhere. So having just like the correct format for a CV for this industry so important, and you know how to how to present yourself, all that kind of stuff. It's all absolute gold. You really do need to come across well and show uh, like how your experience fits their job description. And I probably would have got there eventually, but it would have been a lot of trial and error, and and it would have been a longer process. So yeah, until
Yeah.
I'd done that.
That,
I just followed your program and followed it to a T, and it worked out. And
yeah.
um, yeah,
Well, that's what I was going to ask you, man. But I think you just hit the nail on the head. Like, because some people out there and some people that we've worked with, they do try. They try and apply for various roles, and they don't usually get the responses back that they're looking for. And yeah, I think you've answered the question really. But like, what made you just invest in this program before, I guess, trying through trial and error?
uh, because I suppose I didn't think that I would really stand a chance of getting a role um, just without that knowledge, without
Yeah,
doing the thing. I needed to have that just into for confidence as well. Really, it's given me so much because yeah, it's knowledge, isn't it? And it's what it's you can talk then confidently about what you
yeah,
uh, you come across well, know what they're asking you, and you're not just kind of like trying to wing it and
yeah,
you're trying to flag it, and it's all tangible, so
yeah.
yeah,
Makes
i'm
sense.
i'm i'm so glad that I've done it, because yeah, it would have been a lot harder otherwise.
Because you're selling yourself at the end of the day. Like in an interview environment, you're selling yourself, and you are competing against other people ultimately. And
Yeah,
yeah, and part of the selling is like transferring the confidence that you have into the hiring manager or the business owner or recruiter even, that they feel confident that you have what they need to fulfill that role. So it's like a transfer of confidence,
yeah,
and
absolutely.
the process has hopefully helped with that.
Mm.
So current situation now, Lawrence. Because well, if anyone's watching this, let's fill people in. So basically, can you remember how long it was after joining that there was that initial offer, that initial interview process that you were going through?
Yeah, that was, I think it was 7 weeks.
Yeah. So seven
Something
weeks
like that.
in. Now that was, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, mate, but like we kind of put all our eggs in that one basket
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it it,
definitely.
it it really did look like it was going to, pay off, and it was like it was for you, if I'm remembering correctly, it was like on your doorstep. It like was almost too good to be true.
It was, yeah, it was like, it was a, looking back, it's a bit like, yeah, it was a bit too easy. If I'd have just landed that role and it just been like one interview in, um, but it was that's just how it went. So, but yeah, I mean, it was all eggs in one basket. Um, Being a bit lazy, I was just like, well, let's just do the one, see how we go. And I'm not properly applying yet. I just saw it and thought, right, that's good. I'm going to apply for that.
Yeah,
And then, yeah, wasn't really seriously looking at that point because I thought, mate, I still had bits of the course to finish, and it's like I'll wait till I've got everything, and then I'll start really applying properly in bulk. But yeah, it didn't materialize. So, a good experience, and then you move on, don't you? And
yeah.
yeah, uh,
Um,
another couple of attempts.
well, that's it, mate. And this is like it doesn't always work out the first time around, and people, some people can get really discouraged, and like, you know, naturally, your confidence is going to get knocked a little bit. Especially when it was as convenient and it was so good, this offer that didn't materialize. And I think they left you hanging a little bit, didn't, if I remember, like
Yeah,
it felt like you'd been through the process. They were really positive about you, like it was almost like a done deal, and then it kind of
yeah,
just
and then
it,
oh, we've changed tack. We're not hiring in
yeah,
that. Oh, right. And I'd been waiting for that response for like
yeah,
about a month by that point, and it was like, yeah, I didn't think this was going to work out. It's. So I mean, yeah, live and learn, don't you? And yeah, it was a good experience. But then after then another interview, perhaps the second one I didn't get. Perhaps I wasn't asked. There were some questions I felt they could have asked me more, and that was the thing about both those first interviews. It was technical questions, but they didn't really ask me the sort of, I don't know, the things that I was worried about that I thought maybe put them off was the fact that I worked for myself for
say that
years
again,
and years.
mate. I missed that bit what you just said.
Yeah, I because I didn't get the first two interviews. I didn't get in the end,
Yeah,
and I kind of, you're thinking, what is it? Why haven't I got these now? Then what is it? Have they been put off by the fact that I've been my own business, working for
yeah,
myself for years and years and years. And there was no mention of it, no questions about it. So by the third one, I felt like I had to sort of address that and sort of, even if it wasn't asked, just go out like we spoke,
yeah,
you advised on that. And by doing so, I was able to sort of like demonstrate that, I'm ready for a change, and I'm with the right company. I want to stay and progress, and I've worked for myself for a number of years, but this is what I want to do now. And and I feel like by going through that process, I had to learn those things I needed to sort of get across.
yeah.
You know,
So did you like it? It's hard to say, isn't it? Really, you're never really going to know because they never really
yeah,
give
it might not have been
feedback.
that, but that's what I was convinced it was.
On the
So
technical side, though, like with those two interviews, like how did you feel you fared? Like, was there? I mean, and as you like you're in the program longer, we're working on stuff like you're obviously getting better and you're doing your own research. I'm sure like how you answered technical questions in the third interview that you succeeded in compared to the first, there was a difference there. But do you feel then like technically you were okay in interview one and two, and perhaps it was, these other things not being addressed.
Yeah, I mean, interview one, technically, I think I did really well. It was a test, so with multiple choice. So I was just like, I think I only got two answers wrong, and I was like, "Well, I smashed it," you know. Um, and but then interview two, the technical stuff, I think I didn't do so well because I think I misinterpreted some of the questions, and I mean, I think I fared all right. But yeah, then the third one, it was a bit different. It was like the guy, he didn't, the first kind of like introduction um we did, he didn't really ask me too many technical things, and then he said, right, I've got I'm going to give you a bit of homework, just research these couple of things,
Okay.
go and look at them, see what information you can find. And I was like, oh, okay. So I did a bit of research, and then he sort of grilled me in a bit more
Right.
depth on the second interview.
What did he give
uh,
you?
he gave me he said that we'll be looking at an air handling unit, and so do a bit of research on those, and also PID loops. So
Oh, right.
I
Yeah.
actually spent more time deep diving into PID loops and trying to understand those than the air handling unit. But so in the end, I mean, I did all right. But it was an interview sort of late in the day after a long day at work, and I was just like, the
Oh,
answers
yeah.
just
Yeah.
weren't coming to me. But it was just like coaxing them out of me a bit. And he was happy that I think he just wanted to see that I had that sort of drive to go and look things up and can
Yeah.
interpret things and take the information forward and relay it. So that's that basic. Um, so yeah, that's all good.
And just going back to the point, mate, like this is like what I was so pleased with, with like just seeing how you progress. Like you didn't let that first setback, that second setback stopped you. Like, because naturally that's going to knock anyone's confidence, you know.
Yeah,
But you kept going, mate. And like
yeah.
I was like, mate, that's just a testament to who you are.
No.
What kept you going?
I knew I could do it. I mean, I all sorts of things. I suppose it's just like, well, I'm doing this for my family as well, and that's a big one.
Yeah,
Um, security, family, and but just seeing that there's other stuff out there, and like there is and it was over the summer, so it was a bit quiet for a while, and I didn't see many jobs, and I'm thinking, oh, right, summertime, don't worry about it. And then as soon as I started seeing some more jobs coming up, like, right. But it was just like, okay, also I just need to work a bit harder, I just need to do more research and understand these things, and just like, yeah, I don't know, once I get into something, I'll just keep going. Like, that's just what I do. So yeah, it was a bit disheartening. But yeah, you can't let it put you off, you can't let it stop you. You just gotta keep moving forward, haven't you?
yeah.
Mm,
That's it, mate. It's like you only fail when you quit, and
exactly.
you you've got enough of this knowledge now. You've been through the process, like you're learning through going through the process. Even though you haven't succeeded the first, second time, you're learning from going through that process, knowing how they kind of lay out the interviews, what kind of questions they're asking you, how to even that, just like presenting, what we talked about a second ago, like kind of selling yourself, but obviously not from a cringy, salesy, like, you know, perspective, but like selling what you have to offer this business and giving them the confidence that, you know, you are the right person to help them. Like all of that, it's a good experience. And I think when you can frame it like that and accept that you might not be successful the first time, the second time, the third time, but you're not gonna give up because you've got motivations, and like you touched on your family and stuff, like yeah, it's going to work out in the end.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, and it's been really helpful having having the coach sessions. Like I think we did one before the last interview, and that was great because I could get in my head about it and be a bit like, oh,
Yeah,
what if I haven't got what they're looking for and all this kind of stuff. But just having that session really helped me just to get right. Okay, yeah, I've got this. Uh, I've got the knowledge, I've got the experience, and it's just gave me that little bit of, just got me in the right frame of mind to then go and do the interview later on in the day.
yeah.
It's so helpful, and I really appreciate that.
Pleasure,
Yeah.
mate. So what would you say, what like elements of the program would you say helped you the most in like, landing this role and getting you to where you are now?
Um, yeah, uh, I'd say the career specialist section is yeah, definitely I've gained the most by doing that, because yeah, without that, I wouldn't have got the role. So yeah, it's all about how you present yourself and how you can get the attention of the recruiter in the first place. You know, um, then how you communicate with the recruiter, how you communicate and come across and sell yourself in the interview, but also knowledge, how you can,
Yeah,
having that knowledge to fall back
yeah.
on. Yeah, so that I'd say that, and those coaching calls, yeah, golden, mate. Like absolute. Without those, I would have probably been, yeah, I wouldn't have been as confident in interviewing.
Oh, pleased to hear it, mate. Just going back to the interview, I don't think I've asked you.
Mm.
Um, did you mention, because I think when we did that coaching call, I mentioned, perhaps you could mention us, even though I've not encouraged people to do this in the past, but since Wesley used this tactic where
Oh
he
yeah,
actually mentioned us and that you'd actually invested in yourself, did that come up at all?
yeah, I got that in there.
Good
Because
man.
like, oh yeah, when we spoke, you were like, yeah, tell them what you've invested, and it's like, yeah. So I was like, yeah, I got there.
Man,
uh,
yeah,
and yeah, managed to get that all in. And just like, yeah, I've invested in this course off my own back, and that impressed the guy. He could see then that I was committed. I'm just not gonna
yeah,
just take this role and then give it up. When it gets a bit tricky, I've done it off my own back in my own time as well as working, and yeah, it does go a long way. Uh, so yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, definitely. I recommend other people to just mention that when they're interviewed. Really
yeah.
help.
Because I mean, just put yourself in the shoes of a hire manager, business owner, and let's say they're interviewing, 3 to 5 different people, and they're all relatively similar ability wise. Let's just say that, but then one of them has like invested a substantial amount of money in themselves, spent the last 6 months, really learning this. That's gonna separate
Yeah,
that person
yeah,
from
you
the
absolutely
rest.
stand out. But yeah, yeah, really
And
do.
what does that say about you as a person?
Exactly. It says that you're committed and that you're keen to learn. It's everything they want to
Yeah,
see in a new trainee, junior, or even a slightly more senior role. Yeah, you put the work in and you're prepared to work hard.
yeah.
So it speaks volumes. Yeah.
Because people that aren't would no way invest that in themselves. Like it's just like
No,
so it's just
no, that's
straight
it.
away. What's that, mate?
And like you said at the time, I think because I think previously I said, yeah, I've done a course online with B automation and it's 7 weeks. Blah, blah, blah. You were like, no, tell them what you've invested because like you could have just bought a course for 20 quid on the internet or something like that, and
Hmm.
they're like, yeah, what isn't a proper course kind of thing.
Yeah.
Tell them what it costs, and yeah, so yeah, definitely, just sort of lay that out, just to show that yeah, I've really been committed to this.
Yeah.
Um,
You're taking this seriously. Like you actually
yeah,
you are putting a lot, not only financially, but time into making this change. And like you mentioned, like you're committing to this change. That
mm,
like as a business owner, like if someone said that to me or I could see that, like that just tells me so much about that person's character without them actually having to demonstrate anything to me. Just that action alone, like action speaking far louder than words. Just that action alone, that just says it all for me as a business owner or a hiring manager about that person.
mm,
So
yeah,
yeah, it's
totally.
massive, man. Um, yeah, so when do you start?
Uh, Next Wednesday. Yeah. So
Awesome.
yeah, I've got to get into London, be commuting on the train. And yeah, so I've got like the first 3 days sort of induction stuff, and then I think the following week I'll be out with the senior guy I'm going to be shadowing.
Cool.
Okay. And yeah, it's going to be a bit of a mixture of sort of blended learning and then being out on site. And I think yeah, some of that learning will be at home, I believe.
Yeah.
Uh, and then yeah, they're going to get me on a trend course,
Nice. Yeah.
and then yeah, there'll be other courses. Others, the BCIA courses, I'm
Yeah.
sure
Yeah. Hmm.
involved. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of learning. It's going to be a lot, but it's going to be great. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And he sent me some stuff to look at actually, which is I think it's the some Niagara
Oh yeah. Hmm.
stuff. So just it's a little sort of introduction to the blended learning stuff. So like you watch the video, answer some questions.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have a go at that before I start. And yeah. So looking forward to it. So I've got the last week of my job this week. I've got some boilers to wire up, so I've got to take care of those tomorrow, and
So
then
some bit of controls work then.
bit
A
of
little bit of
controls work.
controls work before
Yeah,
the big BMS controls work.
yeah, exactly. Um, Another
Good
recruiter
stuff.
probably wants me.
What's that? Sorry.
Probably another recruiter wants me there.
So what happens,
Benchmark.
isn't it? Like
I know.
once your CV's out there, there's those keywords in there. You're on LinkedIn, that's
Yeah,
optimized. It's like, there's someone here that's got BMS control skills.
yeah. I mean, the thing is, I mean, also was getting calls from people saying, "Yeah, we've seen your CV, and we want you. Like, we've got a commissioning engineer role," and they were sort of like, "Wow, sounded good," but I was sort of like, "Yeah, but I mean, I'm not at that level yet. I
Yeah.
need to start at the right level. I try and go in too high and claim I know everything and just be like, yeah, be a disaster. I think so.
Well,
Hey, who
it's
knows?
funny that
Might be able to drag it. But yeah, I was like, no, thanks, I'm all right. I've got a a more junior role that I'm kind of going for, and they're like, oh right, well, are you sure? So
trying to
yeah,
dangle the carrot.
I know. I was like, yeah, it does sound good, but yeah, definitely, it's definitely the right path.
It is. It is. It's like, don't run before you can walk kind of thing. And but interesting you bring that up, like the fact that someone's like, dangling the carrot of a commissioning engineering role. I was going to tell you, I'm actually catching up with Mo because you're walking the same path that Mo, who joined the
Yeah,
program about a year ago. You're walking exactly the same path. You're going through the same trainings, like the trend training, the Niagara trainings that they put Mo through. And like Mo's goal was to get to becoming a commissioning engineer as quickly as possible. Um, so yeah, I caught up with him about 2 weeks ago, and I'm meeting him in London Thursday actually this week.
oh,
So I'm gonna have a proper catch up. But he's in
yeah,
the space of a year, less than a year, he's absolutely smashed through being a service maintenance engineer. Um, he went on all of the trend trainings, all of the Niagara trainings. Like he was an absolute sponge and really, really sort of motivated to get everything that he needed to become that commissioning engineer. And then the business that he was working for just didn't allow him to progress to that role as quickly as he'd like. So he jumped
mm,
ship, was at this other
mm,
business for about 2 weeks, and they were dangling the carrot saying, "Yeah, we'll give you commissioning to do."
yeah,
It didn't work out, so he left them, and he mentioned a couple of weeks ago that he's just landed like a contracting role now, 6 month fixed contract as a commissioning engineer. I think he's on like starting out at 350 a day. So within the space of about a year, he's advanced from service, well, electrician to service
yeah,
engineer to commissioning engineer. And he was telling me that like, all the people that he's worked with and other service engineers, other commissioning engineers, is like, nah, you can't do that. Like that, it takes a lot longer to make that progression. Like you just can't do it. And Mo's just proven them all completely wrong.
yeah. Well, Edge. Oh God, right. Yeah, he's just
So
got right stuck in.
I'm
Yeah,
saying
fair
that, mate,
enough.
because like don't because the industry are probably set in their ways, and the beauty of Mo is he hasn't been in the industry. He's just got a
Mm,
certain mindset, drive, desire to get to where he wants to get to, and he's just proven that like what the industry thinks isn't necessarily true. It's like what you can actually do, what you can achieve, and how motivated you are. So I share that to you to if you do want to advance into these roles quicker than perhaps you're being allowed to, then you absolutely can. And Mo's
yeah,
evidence of that.
yeah. It's down to the individual, isn't it? Like what you want to learn. If you're able to, I suppose, just keep moving forward and like get me on the next thing, get me on the next thing. Like uh, just get all the training under your belt, and yeah, if you're willing and able to sort of crack through it, then I guess yeah, sky's the limit. You can really just do it in quite a quick turnaround. I mean, that's impressive. Yeah.
It's bloody painful though. Like we had multiple conversations throughout this year where he's just like doubting himself. Am I moving too quickly? Like he does feel like he's a little bit out of his depths at times. But
Mm,
that pain is like what you're feeling when you're growing. You
mm,
know,
mm.
and I think most
Yeah,
people,
you're gonna have
especially in
downside.
this especially in this industry, because there is so much to learn, and it is a steep learning curve that just continues for a long time. Like it is like a lot of pain, a lot of feeling like an imposter for a long period of
Yeah,
time. But the longer that you
yeah,
can endure that,
you know,
the more you're learning, the more you're growing, which puts you in that position where you can confidently take on, like Mo, a contracting role as a commissioning engineer.
yeah, yeah. That's good. So now he's got that role. Does he feel like he's not? Does he feel like he's in the right place? Does he feel like he's not out of his depth anymore?
Well,
How's he
I'll
thinking?
find out when I speak to him
Ah,
Thursday.
yeah, yeah. I guess it's just yeah, depends on what's in front of him, doesn't it?
I mean, it just forces you. Like, this is the thing. Like, you're not gonna feel comfortable. God knows what's going on outside here. We've got a massive lorry. Oh, it's the
No.
bin man. Um, yeah, like it forces you to learn quicker because you don't want that feeling of imposter syndrome. You don't want that anxiety, that doubt. So it kind of forces you to go deeper and learn and
Yeah, I've got to figure this
resolve
out.
that.
Yeah, you're not just going to sit there and wait for someone to do it for you. You've got to do it, haven't you? You've got to know what you're doing. And so the only way is to just dive into it.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's your skill set. Do you want to be a person that can, you know, demand 350, 500 quid a day? And if you do, that you need to take on that responsibility and take control of learning what you need to learn. It's pretty simple. It's simple, but it's just hard and painful to do, especially for a long period of time.
yeah, yeah. It's going to be exhausting. Like, yeah. How's he found it? Like in terms of like having that, energy to just learn at that rate.
Yeah, I think it hasn't been easy for him. Like he has like just probably a constant state of anxiety for about a year, but it was his why. He like he wanted to get to a point where he, like we talked about earlier, basically work less, earn more money, so he could do like a 3 day week and then have a long weekend to spend with like his son and his family. To have that option, but to have that option, you need to be able to earn, like 500, 600 quid a day. So you can earn that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to then be able to provide and, give you that life. So he just wanted to get to that as quickly as possible. And so that's kind
Mhm.
of what he's done.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I suppose that's it. Like that's your goal, then it's short term pain, isn't it? In the lot, in the scheme of things, um,
Yeah.
1 year. It's not a very long time, is it, to be going through that?
No,
Um,
it isn't in the grand scheme of things. It's a short period of time. It feels like it though when you're going through it. It feels like a long slog,
Slog.
but
Yeah,
it's worth it.
that's
Mate,
great.
just to close things out, like what advice would you give to anyone, who's looking to, achieve perhaps the same thing that you've achieved now?
Um, I'd say, yeah, I'd say if they're looking to get involved, and they're similar kind of scenario, similar position, I am or was, then don't hold back. Just go for it and apply yourself and just keep chipping away, and you'll get there.
Yeah.
I think it's just that's the most important thing. Is like if you're going to do it, just dedicate that time every day to the study, no matter what. Okay, you're going to have days when you can't do it, but do that. Stick with the program, and then when you come to applying jobs, just don't get disheartened. Just go through the process, keep chipping away, and you'll refine your interview technique as you go, and you just get better and better, and then things will happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Love it, mate. Well, yeah, you're a testament to that, and I'm genuinely like really really happy that because you've deserved this, like you've really deserved it, and you've
absolutely.
stuck at it. So
Thanks, man.
really really happy for you, mate.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, no, I'm buzzing. Yeah, I just want to get started now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
awesome stuff, man. Well, Lawrence, we're keeping in touch, obviously, and we're still keeping in
yeah.
touch in the community and whatnot. So just yeah, keep us
Keep
keep us
related.
updated, mate.
Sure. Well, thanks for everything, and I will definitely update you as I go. And take care.
Top man. All right, Lawrence. Cheers, mate. I appreciate you doing this as well. Thank you.
No worries at all. Right, a pleasure.
All
Speak
right,
soon.
mate. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye bye.